Welcome Standard 10 to your social class for history. Last turn we had done unification of Germany and Italy. So today we'll take up the strange case of Britain. Britain, it was strange because all of the other places a revolution was taking up place and there were fights. But in Britain it was not a sudden upheaval, that means not a sudden revolution, but it was a long drawn out process. It was planned and then it was executed. And the ethnic composition of Britain was that there were many people, many different types of people living there. Like you can see here, the English, the Welsh, the Scot or the Irish. These were the ethnic inhabitants of England, and each of these people, they had their own culture and political traditions. Now all this happened when you remember that the first industrial revolution took place in England, and because of this industrial revolution England became more powerful and it had more money, and because of the money and power, it says it became more powerful and it was able to influence other countries. Like here you can see that the English Parliament, which had seized power from the monarchy in 1688, at the end of a protracted conflict, was the instrument through which a nation state with England at the center came to be forged. So the initiative of uniting England was taken up by the English Parliament, and English Parliament, it had taken power from the monarchy. Then there was another treaty which was signed between England and Scotland, and it was known as the Act of Union. So the Act of Union 1707. This treaty, which was signed between England and Scotland, this formed a new nation known as the United Kingdoms of Great Britain. दो देश बराबर से ट्रीटी साइन करे, दोनों की पावर सेम होनी चाहिए, बट इंग्लैंड वॉज डोमिनेंट, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ द डोमिनेंस द स्कॉटलैंडर्स, they were forbidden to wear their national dress or speak their national Gaelic language. So again it means it was a forged treaty. Scotland was forcibly incorporated with the England, and the Scotlanders, they had to forget their traditions, forget their language and forget their national dresses. Then again another country which was incorporated in England was Ireland. Ireland was a Catholic dominant country. So here two sects of Christians were there, Catholics and Protestants. The basic difference between Catholics and Protestants is people who worship Mother Mary is Catholics, and people who worship Jesus Christ and do not believe in idol worships, they are known as Protestants. So Ireland, there was conflicts between the Catholics and the Protestants, and here England, they helped the Protestants to establish a dominant power over the Catholics. The country was mainly Catholic, but England helped the Protestants to have control over that Ireland. Wolfe and his Irishmen, they fought, but they were defeated, and then finally Ireland was incorporated in the United Kingdom in 1801. So first the English Parliament, they took up how to streamline unification. They took up Scotland through the Act of Union, and now they have taken up Ireland. So all these three combined to form the Great British Nation, that is United Kingdoms in 1801. But in all this, the main power was with the English culture, the main power was with England, and therefore they had a dominant English culture. And the signs of the New Britain were the British flag, that is the Union Jack, the national anthem God Save Our Noble King, and the language that was taken up was English. So this was the strange case of Britain. You can note down from here the strange case of Britain. It says here it was not the result of a sudden upheaval, but it was a long drawn out process. सोचा समझा तरीके से बनाया गया. Ethnic composition was English, Welsh, Scot and Irish, having their own cultures and traditions. The process was taken up by the English Parliament. Then an Act of Union was signed between England and Scotland, through which Scotland had to forego its language, its dress and everything, forget about all those things, and now convert themselves as how the England people lived. Then United Kingdom of these two combined together to form the United Kingdom of Great Britain. Then Ireland was also incorporated here after Wolfe and his Irishmen were defeated. So finally British nation was formed with the symbols British flag, national anthem and the English language. Next we come to personification of the nation, that is visualizing the nation. Like you remember, our India is represented as Bharat Mata. That means the allegory of India is Bharat Mata, personification of the nation. Same way, when a nation, the idea of a nation is visualized through a female figure, it is known as an allegory. Here you can see the keyword allegory. जब किसी इंसान को, स्पेशली फीमेल फिगर को, एक नेशन के रूप में प्रस्तुत करते हैं, दैट इज नोन एज एन allegory. So we'll read about 3 allegories here. The first one is Marianne. That was the allegory of France. Her characteristics were drawn from those of liberty and the republic. If you remember French Revolution, liberty and republic, they were shown by the red cap, the tricolor and the cockade. What is a cockade? So here you can see this is a cockade. Okay. So personification of France was done with the allegory of Marianne. Then second allegory is Germania. That is of the German nation. And Germania was shown wearing a crown of oak leaves, because oak stands for heroism, bahaduri. You can see the allegory of Germania. Here also you can see Germania. And what were the attributes? This you'll remember you've done in French Revolution. Broken chains means being freed. Breastplate with eagles shows strength. Oak, heroism. Sword, readiness to fight. Olive branch around the sword, willingness to make peace. जितनी तेजी से लड़ सकते हैं उतनी जल्दी से शांति भी बना सकते हैं. Black, red and gold tricolor, that is the flag of the liberal revolutionaries, liberal nationalist. And then rays of the rising sun, that is beginning of new era. So these were the two allegories, Marianne, Germania, and the other one is Britannica. You can see here, Britannica. Okay, and this was the symbol of the British nation. Okay, you can see here, Britannia, the symbol of the British nation. So this much today. Meet you in the next class.